up, everybody? I started the video before sharing the link, so hang out here with me for a second while I send this link off. And there we go. All right, so today, sorry about that. Today we are talking about how to build motivation. Where'd you go? Hold on. I had to change my windows to, there we go. Send that link off to you guys on WhatsApp. So now we're here. Topic today, we're talking about how to build motivation. So motivation is obviously not the thing that we want to rely on because it comes and goes. But when it goes, it sucks. It's hard to, everything feels 10 times as hard, right? So yeah, we're going to talk about how to build motivation and how you can start building it today if you're struggling with it. My win for today, we're going to start off with wins like we always do. My win today is we were supposed to go to the gym. And if you've seen Casey's stories, this little monkey right here found herself a nice stinky skunk at 5 in the morning, right as we were about to walk out the door. Let her out to pee, and there was a skunk tucked down the side of our deck, and I couldn't see it until the dog found it, and I saw the white stripe on the back, and it was too late. She got sprayed and was good and stinky. She had an immediate tomato paste bath. We got her straight in there and lathered her up in tomato paste, which I think she kind of really liked because it was like she was getting covered in food, and she really, I think, enjoyed that. But it doesn't really do the trick. So once Walmart opened up, we ran over there, grabbed some special skunk odor eliminating shampoo, and she's good as new. A little tired. I think she might be maybe not feeling the super best. She might have got some in her mouth, but yeah. My win was doesn't sound like a win, does it? But my win was getting her all sorted and taken care of. It was something that felt stressful in the moment, but ended up being totally fine. And we just adapted our plans for the situation. So yeah. My win, I guess, is that she's all good and not stinking up the house, and she can hang out with us here in the office and smell like lemons, which is nice. All right, so let's talk about motivation. My coach, my former mentor. I don't have my painting in here, but I grew up playing hockey, not far from where I am right now, actually. And my mentor, my coach, and my mentor was like an elite NHL player in his time. He played in the 1972 series, Canada versus Russia, which is a famous international hockey tournament that happened during the Cold War. It was the best players that Canada had to offer against the best players that Russia had, and he was one of the defensemen on the team. So he coached my team for 2 years, but a bigger role was the mentorship that he offered me. I'd go and sit in his garage while he chewed on cigars, and he just taught me about life and hockey. But it was everything that he taught me about hockey was about life. It was about controlling your emotions and having a healthy mind, because how you think determines how you act. And so one thing that he always said to me was action precedes motivation. You'll never be motivated to do, I should say never. Sometimes there's motivation, but most often you won't find motivation until you start doing the thing. So this is where the quick tip comes in today is if you're feeling lack of motivation and there's things that you're not doing, start doing those things today. Even though you won't see the result immediately, when you tick off those boxes, you hit your macros, get your steps in, it feels good. It creates a sense of accomplishment. It gives you a dopamine rush. You get that's one reason why you'll hear, if you study any sort of like psychology of motivation, or um, psychology of productivity or anything, you'll always hear people say make checklists and physically check off those lists, because every time you check something off, it feels really good. It triggers your internal reward system, and it makes you want to keep doing it. It makes you want to do more. So it increases your productivity, it increases your motivation, and it increases your focus. So if you're feeling out of motivation, the best thing that you can do today, like I'm talking the second you get off this call, is pick something from your tasks that needs to get done today. Whether it's steps, go for a 10-minute walk, get more steps in. If it's nutrition, plan out your dinner. It's 4 o'clock on the East Coast right now, so it's earlier everywhere else. Plan out your dinner and plan it according to your macros. It feels really good. Hit a workout this evening. Get yourself prepared for tomorrow. Do Just start doing the things, even if you're like, like I just don't feel like I'm going to get results. Do it anyways, because when you tick it off, it feels good and it's going to lead to results. It's immediately going to lead to motivation, which translates into more bought in action. So, what I mean by that is, if you're not fully bought in, you're not motivated, you're kind of lacking that belief that things are going to change for you, that sort of thing, and you go to do your nutrition, you're probably not going to do your best work, because why would you? It feels like you're going to put a lot of effort into something that's not going to produce a lot of results. But when you create that sense of motivation and you do it anyways, you build motivation, but then your action becomes a lot more like you're more bought in. You're going to take more precise action, which is going to lead to better results automatically. If you're sloppy with your nutrition and your tracking, your results are going to be sloppy. If you're accurate with your nutrition and tracking, you're going to get better, more precise results. It's just as simple as that, really. So, I was talking about Patty. I grabbed this puck and I didn't even show you. That's Pat. I found that buried in a lake when I moved to BC, which was quite the surreal moment. But take the words of wisdom from Pat, and just know that when you act first, then you get motivated. There's other ways to get motivated as well, and we're going to talk about that too. I would say the number one thing: action. Take action. If you're struggling to take action, revisit your why. Why are you doing this? Why are you here? Why have you paid to be a part of a community and to have one-to-one coaching? What was so painful about your life that you wanted to make that investment in yourself? If you revisit that and you really spend some time thinking about it, don't just think about it for 2 minutes. Like, sit there and actually contemplate it and really think about it, because it's going to build that passion again. You're going to feel the feelings. You're going to remember why you did this. There's I don't know if I can call them a group. I'm not really sure what to label them as, but on Spotify, there's an artist called Fearless Motivation, and they have a lot of their songs are all just like motivational songs. And I go through phases where I listen to it and it helps, and other times where I just it doesn't really do anything. So I find a different way to build my motivation. But one of the things that they like, one of their songs, or a repeated theme in their songs, is remember why you started. And it's true, because if you when I think about why I started my fitness journey, it's because I felt so insecure and insignificant. I felt weak. I didn't feel like I could be the masculine protector that I wanted to be in relationships. I felt like, if someone's going to step up to me, I'm definitely getting my ass handed to me, because I don't know how to fight and I'm weak. So, and I was kind of chubby. And so I was like, I had all these insecurities and these pain points. And those were the reasons why it was so important for me to make a change. It wasn't about looking better. I mean, that was always a part of it. I wanted to look better, But more importantly was I wanted to be a different version of myself. I wanted to be stronger. I wanted to be more confident. I wanted to feel masculine. I wanted to feel like I could protect the people that I loved. Um, I wanted people to respect me, and part of that was, walking into a room, having my head held up high because I believed in myself, and being muscular just shows the image of this person cares about themselves, and they put work in, and they know they have a good work ethic. Like, this is somebody to respect, and it was all of those reasons, and I revisited that so many times, over and over and over again, when I was in and out of the gym, or when I was like, maybe not in and out of the gym, but I was in the gym consistently. But for, periods, I would just kind of like, I was like, what am I doing? I'm not really, like, I just kind of felt like I was floundering, and it really helps to rebuild that motivation and passion. And those whys will change, and this is the other reason why it's so important to revisit it, is because the why changes. The reason why I do it now is different from the reason I did it back then. I've what's the word that I'm looking for? I don't know. For the most part, I've accomplished what I was hoping to get out of fitness 10 years ago. I've gained all of those benefits, and the reason why I do it now is a different purpose, and so that purpose, that why, changes, and it's important to revisit it, because what what initially started you might still really connect, and maybe it doesn't connect as much for some people, but there's going to be another reason why you want to keep going. Um, and it's determining that why, what it means to you. And I guarantee you, it'll light a fire under your ass, because the reason why you're doing it is a very strong, valid reason, and you're definitely not going to want to go back to feeling the way that you were before you started, or to think that if you don't ever change, that you're going to stay feeling that way, is a horrible, horrible kind of thought to have. So, um, as another way to build your motivation. And then the last one that I have is, talk to Casey or I. Like, we have all of your check-ins on the back end here. We can see everything. We can see all the graphs. Um, when you see where you've come from, when you can see where's my hand? If you started here and you're now here, it feels really good. But what happens when we're going through this process is, especially like from the personal side of things, like, it's the same for me. When I'm in my fitness and I'm working on myself, we see ourselves in the mirror every single day. We see all these little tiny incremental changes that half the time we don't even notice. Um, and as time goes by, it feels like you're not changing. It feels like you haven't done anything. It feels like the accomplishments are so small, and you're like, what the hell? Like, I've worked so hard. Why am I not seeing any difference? But there's a massive difference. It's like wearing a t-shirt. Your body just gets used to it. You get used to seeing yourself in the mirror, and you make these subtle changes every week, and it starts to progress. Sometimes you see the difference, but it's never as drastic as when you look at the photo from the day one when you started to where you are now. Is like, wow, okay, I've done some pretty dang good work. And this is working, and everything is going in the right direction. So it builds that motivation of like, I'm going to keep going, because I might not be seeing the changes week to week or month to month, that I want to, but it's not that they're not there. It's just that you might not be seeing them. You might not be recognizing them. Like I said, it's a very normal thing to happen. And when you're not looking back and comparing your own check-in photos, which, I don't know how many people do that. I do myself every several months, and it's a good reminder, because I'm like, hey, look at that. I actually did some damage. That's pretty cool. I felt like I wasn't really making any progress at all, and there's definitely some visible progress. So that's good. I'm going to keep going. Um, yeah, those are my three favorite ways, to track or to rebuild motivation. First one always is to start doing things. Don't wait. Don't use emotion based energy to fuel you. That's what motivation is. Motivation is, it's a feeling. It's not. It's not an actual thing. It's just a made up thing that we have in our heads of, like, why would one person be motivated and another not? It's something, it's in our minds, it's made up. And so the first thing to do is take action, because no matter whether you're motivated or not, if you take action, you're going to see results. It's the foolproof way. The second is to revisit your why. Why did you start in the first place? Why are you doing this now? Why are you continuing on? Why is this important to you? What happens, and what does it mean to you if nothing ever changes? If you just stayed where you are, what would that mean for you? And you revisit those reasons and kind of think through, and reevaluate why you're doing this, and the pros and the cons, and what you're going to feel like if you don't change. That's going to bring motivation back pretty quick. And then the third way is actually recognize where you came from. Look at your results, look at your graphs, or get us to send them to you. We'll send you a graph that shows, if you've been here for 6 months, I'll show you your graph from where you started, what your waist measurement was 6 months ago to where it is now, your weight, your photos, and we'll point it out because Case and I mean, we do this for a living, obviously, and there's a lot of physical changes that we can pick up on that often like clients won't notice until we point it out. We're like, look here, look here, look here, look here, look here, and you're like, wow, okay, I can see all of those changes happening, and that's another way to rebuild motivation. Those are my 3 main tips. If you have other ways that help you get motivated, comment it. Where's my comment button? Comment it and share that with everybody else, because motivation isn't a necessary thing, but it sure shit helps, right? So comment what makes you motivated or what gets you back into motivation, because it's going to help everybody else that's here reading it. If the 3 things that I suggested aren't hitting home for you, maybe there's something in the comments from somebody else that does. And maybe it's just a combination of the things, right? So share your strategies with everybody else, so we can approach this like a team and really, build each other up as a community. I'm going to say, actually, don't comment it here. Comment it in the WhatsApp group. Hit do your thing, #replay, and your biggest takeaway, and then throw in your biggest tip for what gets you motivated again. Let's share as a community with each other, what motivates each other or what motivates ourselves, so that we can help each other in that as well. All right. If you're watching replay, you know what to do. #replay. And we'll see you in the WhatsApp group, everybody. All right. Have a wonderful Tuesday.